fly. But the weather closes in, and for 4 days I can't fly. We're all frustrated and sit around. And on the 5th day I take off. Aaron releases the geese. And I look back and I can't see them anywhere. I think they've doubled back to the pool. I keep looking back. Have they doubled back? No, they are flying. And they are trying to catch me. I throttle back and just cruise on the verge of stall. And they catch up and fly off my left wing. It's exciting. They're there and it's fantastic. They're doing it. And we're all up there together. I make a long, slow circle and cruise back over the house at about 300 feet. I look down and everybody's waving. It's a fantastic day. I take a little video camera up with me and try and catch them in their early antics of trying to form up. We have a lot to learn. I have to figure the right speed to fly, and they've got to find the right spot. They're all over to start with. If they find the right spot, it's a free ride, but usually they fall off it. One slips under the wing, and he comes up on the bow wave. He just cruises there in front of me, about 3 feet away. It's amazing. He doesn't hold it too long and slides off to the right. They get ahead of me a little bit. I pull up in amongst them and become the leader again. We jockey around all over the sky. I come into land and they follow me right in. And they do all this tumbling. I don't know what's happened. I thought they hit turbulence, but I felt nothing. They land right in front of me and I'm worried about rolling over them. But it's no real problem. Oh, it's exhilarating, and they all come over to me and the aircraft and check it over. They peck at this and that. They're like aircraft technicians, the landing gear experts here, and here's the one checking out the Mylar covering. And this character looks like he works for the Ministry of Transport, and he checks the documentation. This guy's the electrical system specialist. The next morning we take off again. We've almost got it down to a science. I take off and bank out to the north, throttle back, and they form up on me. There's a bit of jockeying around in that first forming up. I bolt the camera on a pole out front of the aircraft and get this shot. The vibration causes a few waves in the pictures, but it's interesting to see. I fly eastward over my neighbor's cornfield. Gradually they catch up and form up. And this is the sight from down below. When the air is still, we're just like one big organism in the sky. We fly early in the morning and late in the evening, and it always stops the traffic when we fly over. If they're beneath me, they have to work very hard. I've never seen a bird up this close before in full flight. I can see the muscles move in its back and the movement of each feather. I notice how the head stays still while all the rest of the body is moving. When they get tired, they open their mouth. This is a young flyer. Notice how his feet are wide apart, and he's using them kind of like an elevator. He hasn't got really the position yet to glide on the front, and he slips underneath where he has to work hard again. And this one almost has it perfect. Their cruising speed is right on 30 miles an hour. It has long been a debate between Bill Carrick and I at which speed they'd fly, for he found they flew much faster with the boat, but I think it was just the boat speedometer that was out. They climb at 27 miles an hour, and they descend at about 35. The landings are really the most fun, and I take the camera up to try and capture a landing all the way in. And they're not sliding back and forth in front of me. I'm sliding back and forth behind them, trying to get lined up. They do these tumbling maneuvers, and what they're doing is they're losing altitude without gaining speed. They can pull one wing in and just flip, slide sideways or upside down, and then pull out 10 feet further down. They haven't gained any speed, but they just lost some altitude. I have to flip the camera sideways and set it in my lap while I adjust the throttle. Another throttle adjustment. Now we're on short final. See that flip? They look like a bunch of fighter planes at the last. And we're on the ground. Look at the way they put on their brakes here. They had reversing propellers long before we invented them. I keep them in the pen at night, and my son Jordy looks after them, sprays them with water. They love having a bath, drink right out of the hose. Once a week, Jordy cleans out their pool, which is a recycled microwave dish. They're fascinated by anything in the air that moves, and this harrier, when it goes by, just grabs their attention. And they're curious about everything. If I set the camera down, they peck away at it. They get to be better and better flyers, and our flying becomes a routine. And sometimes I fly above them just to look down and see the view from another vantage point. Every day is a visual treat. When I want to join up with them, I throttle back and just settle down amongst them, and they make way for me. They're becoming mature flyers now. And their flying is almost a ballet, a poetry in the air. And my little aircraft seems so awkward compared to them. If we hit any turbulence, I'm bounced all over, and they don't even seem to notice it. As we fly in the V formation, I realize this is the way they fly to conserve energy. The lead goose works the hardest, and each succeeding goose back in the V has an easier and easier ride until the last goose expends the least amount of energy, riding on the wave created by those in front. However, the V is a fluid thing, with the leadership always changing, so that the heaviest work is always shared. Over 40 years has passed since I first dreamt of flying with the birds, and now it's joyfully realized. As we finish this tape, the story does not end. The geese are becoming less and less dependent on me. I will continue to fly with them as long as possible. But as they mature, and as in nature, they become individuals no longer dependent on their parent. And I realize that I've only played a passing role in their instinctive pattern.